when he came back, he said something. He said to me, "Mom, I realized, while in Mexico, I realized how much I'm like you. Then I wanted to say, I always knew you were like me." But, wisdom teaches the mom not to say anything. Just say, "Oh, I'm happy for you." Just keep calm, So I learned, I also grew as a mom. So 2006, we set up Caffe Pralet and put the school and the cafe side by side on Eng Hoon Street. Initially, when we started, we introduced things like Mom's Curry Chicken, we had Ayam Tampra, Panini. More or less, it was a mismatch of everything that people like to eat.
And when did Tim get involved?
From the very beginning, from the very beginning, because
Pretty much.
from the very beginning, because he was 19 years ago. You were like
No, that was when I was in Sec 3, I think, or
Yes.
Sec 2. After my army, I wanted to actually travel and I wanted to kind of like see the world and do my own thing. But at the point of time, we had some issues with the cafe manager, and my mom asked me to why don't I come and help out in the business full time? She asked me to give her 2 years of my life.
2 years
right?
became 5.
And then 2 years became 4 years. I tried to change the menu in a period of time. We did some minor changes here and there, tried to change the logo as well. But I guess one of my biggest struggles was that because I always felt that this is my mom's a business, and of course working with your mom is never easy, right? Plus also me and my mom, we are both very stubborn people, and a lot of fights, a lot of quarrels, and
Do you recall one of your biggest fights?
well, many.
We were shouting at the top of our voices. I remember. Maybe the whole building heard.
Me throwing chairs, so that bad. The biggest fight was probably when I made the decision to move out of the business. From then on, everything that we tried to speak about or we tried to agree on things just didn't work.
I remember him saying, that, "Look, Mom, this is your mission. It's not, doesn't mean your mission is my mission." That was many, many years ago. In bread making, we have this concept, where new dough is called the young dough. Then you add the old dough to add flavor. So I had always assumed that the young dough and old dough will be together. So when he said at that point of time, for me, it was a very deep cut in my heart. But at the same time, I didn't want him to be a bird, cage and then, not able to fly. But you see, this bird is such that with the mind of his own, no matter how I cage, he will use his beak to peck and then fly off. So no way I could tie this bird.
We did a Southeast Asian food festival there, and I was the main chef cooking for 500 people. I was cooking 5 different Southeast Asian foods. So, bak chor mee, rendang, satay, mango sticky rice. Cooking mezcal was never really a problem because we were also doing the monthly Asian buffets over here in the cafe. And by the time I've really done 10, I think, and I said that "Hey, Tim, you are gonna be the known Southeast Asian chef in Mexico City." Slowly, I managed to build my profile of being a Southeast Asian chef. There was this school that I was trying to get a cooking class with, and my first class had full, we had 16 students, and I would never forget that because my mom was always a teacher, right? And I felt really at the point of time that wow, this is a gift also as well, for me to be able to teach people. And I think that it only felt natural only because of my mom, who kind of taught me this. I mean, gave me this skill set, yeah. In that whole period of time, I started to really look at the business from a third person's point of view. I started to feel that maybe I can change different things, and that thought started to get bigger and bigger. So then in 2020 on Christmas, right, I think it was on Christmas Day, I wrote this letter to my mom, and I told her, and I just sat her down and I said that "Mom, if I thought about it hard, I want to come back, and I will come back and I will help you in the business. But my only condition was that we do it differently.
That was the best Christmas present. I felt such a, because this time he chose, to come back. My marriage had just broken down at that time. I always had this guilty feeling that he came into the business because he wanted to be the man of the house, So when I read the letter, I felt that this is the son that has grown. He has seen some of the world, has matured, and now it's his decision to come back. So I felt comforted, a little disappointed. I wasn't going to Mexico, so I could drink the don't know what cactus juice or don't know what. Juice. So I have to shelf the plan, I did feel that I was slowly the aging chef. I did feel that if I was not careful and not in touch with the younger set, then this business will just die. It will be very unwise for me. When I have a son who has not only just the passion, but the talent and the creativity to bring this business to another level, to say that, no, I want this to be done, continue my own way. No, I was not really that sort, I truly believe that we must move with the times. We must. And he always tells me, Mom, we are not changing, we are not like throwing away things, but we are evolving. So I had to cycle myself. Every time when I resisted, I said, no, we are evolving.
Like evolving, right? I wish I tell her that, so let's evolve.
See, he's a very clever son.
That is true. It was definitely like it was a process, It wasn't like, okay, come inside here and change, And even with like the donuts and everything, initially it was sandwiches and like cakes. Then I slowly convinced her to say that like, Mom, like, why don't we change into like donuts? Everything was like a process of slowly changing. I think that in the past, I wasn't very proud of it because again, it was always like, oh, you are Judy's son. You are in like the shadows of your mom, and that's how I feel as like a second generation. But I think that right now, I feel that like not so many people have this. It's not easy to be able to be working with your mom for the past 19 years. I should be proud of this legacy that I am now carrying. And what me and my mom sees is that eventually, when the business really expands, we really want to use the funds to set up bakeries in like different orphanages, teach them not to take the money and like have a big house and to have like 10 cars and do all of that. That is not me and my mom, that is not us at all.
At the end, life is so short now. We all come with nothing, we go back with nothing. So, but what we leave behind is a legacy of good that we can do while we are still alive. And that kind of success cannot be measured by money.
Maybe one last question. Anything you want to say to each other?
I'm proud of him. Very proud of him. We've come a long way from the shouting matches.